Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining this session. I know it's one of the last ones, so much appreciated. What I want to talk about today is integrating research and faculty data to streamline institutional workflows. So, what I want to discuss and what I will go through is, in general, give an overview of institutional data, how it's used, and especially the challenges that institutions have in managing, collecting, and organizing this data. I will talk about how we see a complete academic information system being defined, and what the role of integrations is in such an academic system, and talk conceptually and also show some examples of what a qualified data network, how a qualified data network can improve or provide tools to the institutions to facilitate managing of data. And of course, at the end, I will discuss some of the example workflows and some of the use cases that we have been working on with customers of Interfolio, FAR in particular, Pure, and also customers that have both of these systems. So, starting from a view of institutional data, and for sure the complexities that this has and this implies. We know that universities manage data across many different domains, and these can be related to persons, so activities such as teaching, courses, supervision, research projects, funding and grants, or publications, so scholarly output. But they can also be activities that are related more to the core business of the institution, such as operations, processes, and workflows. What we want to create and how we can provide extra tools to the institution is to create an infrastructure that is solid and that connects the different systems, data, and workflows, so that the institution can use this infrastructure and use these operations to connect the different domains in which it works, and the different types of data that it has to handle. So, as we know, the situation today is consisting a bit much of fragmented systems. So, institutions, as we said, have to aggregate much of the same content or using different systems such as faculty administration systems like FAR, research management systems, reporting platforms, and funding database. And in these different systems, often they aggregate and use the same type of data for different purposes. So there is duplication of this data, duplication of the effort to manage the data. And as I said, what we are trying to create or trying to go towards as a design is a platform that can connect the different types of data and provides a way for the institution to handle the data more seamlessly and to have consistent data across these different systems. By doing this, we want to reduce the duplicate effort of collecting, organizing, managing data. And we want to create a system or a platform that gives an interconnected view of all of the data related and relevant to the institution and to the activity of its faculty members and researchers. What are the challenges? So in handling and managing the institution's data, there are different challenges that institutions are faced of. We have identified, this is also talking to customers, talking to you, challenges that are common to many institutions. And this I mentioned a little bit before, but it's duplicate data entry, so having to collect the same type of data in different places for different purposes. Inconsistent information, because if the systems have different purposes or focus on different use cases, it might be that the data collected is the same, but is a bit different between one system and another. And then it becomes more difficult to reuse the data downstream for different processes or different workflows. We have a challenge in manual workflows. So there is not enough automation in this managing, this organizing, which leads to an increased administrative burden, both for the administrators, research administrator, faculty administrator, and for the faculty members themselves. What I tried to show in the two images, but it's extremely small, so you cannot see it, but I will tell you. It's simply the same record, so the same publication that is imported on the left in Pure and on the right in FAR. And while most of the metadata, most of the information that describes related to the publication is the same, there can always be, and this is also due to different capabilities that the system have, some metadata that is different. And so in one case, you can have a field on one side that is missing on the other, and vice versa. It doesn't happen all the time, but this already gives a view that is not standard and that has to be rechecked. Universities, as you all know better than me, I guess, face a lot of pressure. And these pressures rotate around improving operational efficiencies, managing not only larger data volumes, but also data that has a broader and broader scope. So data domains, so it's a wider scope and more. Institutions also have to meet compliance and reporting requirements from funding bodies, government agencies, etc. And there is also a challenge to try to provide better digital services for both administrations and faculty members to manage and collect their data. Within Elsevier, we have many different solutions that satisfy or that try to tackle different use cases. Some of these solutions we have been talking about in the last 3 days. So we have products like Interfolio, FAR, Pure, Digital Commons, and Saival. And what we want to do is to try to create a solution that can connect all of these systems and all of these products. So this you can see a little bit, I tried to represent on the diagram on the right. So we wanted to create a solid infrastructure that connects like the different operations, the different workflows in order to facilitate the development, creation, dissemination, and especially management of knowledge within the institution and towards the outside. So, going into what are Elsevier's design principle for what we define or we think a valuable information system integration is. How I said, we have many different solutions that focus on specific use cases and or specific and different use cases, but that require, in many cases, the same data. I mentioned systems that we work with, Pure as a research management system, Interfolio as an academic and for academic and faculty administration, Digital Commons, which is an institutional repository and a publication outlet, and Saival that provides tools for benchmarking and analytics within the institution. So again, what we want to create is a connected infrastructure, and in doing so, we want to leverage the capabilities and the strength of the different products and on the different systems that we are connecting. We also want not only to leverage these capabilities, but we want to standardize the data that is flowing between products and that lives within the different systems and products, so that can be reused seamlessly for downstream processes. What is the role of data integrations? So right now, we know that data integrations allow systems to communicate, share data automatically, which already takes away a lot of the burden and effort of work for administrative purposes. And now we are in a situation that requires a lot of manual input. So you see in the diagram on the right is on top the common situation. I'm not saying it's like this in every case, but it's what you see normally. So you have 3 systems A, B, and C, and you manually have to transfer data from system A to B, system A to C, for example, and system B to C. And these are 2 separate works that have to happen. Where we want to arrive and what can create or bring more efficiency is to have the 3 systems connected between each other that can automatically transfer data. So in practice, what you want to achieve is to have one unique entry point for the data. And this can be different. It can be that one content type is more suited to be entered in FAR, and another is more suited to be entered in Pure. And so it doesn't have to be necessarily one golden entry point. But then you have one integration, the data coming in, and then this data can be shared automatically between the three systems. The benefits of such an infrastructure are obvious. So there is a reduction of manual work that also means reduced cost and reduced burden on the faculty members, consistent information across the different systems, and more efficient workflows. Now, this is a bit of a concept, but what I've been describing until now in practice is a qualified data network. So a qualified data network connects the different systems and enables shared data curation, and I didn't mention before, but it's an important point, also ensures that there is proper data governance in this picture. And data governance we need because once we are sharing data between the different systems, we want to make sure that the data is protected, that there is proper access to the data depending on where the data is, and that we can guarantee a high quality and completeness of the data. So what qualified data network brings is and consists of is, as we said, connected institutional systems, reusable institutional data, shared data governance that I just mentioned, and reliable institutional information. On the right, I tried to capture the use cases that are more relevant to FAR and Interfolio in this case. And what you see is in the center, what I've been talking about. So data that is aggregated and standardized, such as researcher data, organizational hierarchies, outputs that can be scholarly outputs or research outputs, activities, again, different type of activities. This can be teaching, service, research activities, research projects. And once this data is aggregated, we see as the main use cases those being faculty activity reporting, review, workflows that are then used for review, promotion, and tenure, creation and curation of faculty profiles, as well as showcasing both of the profiles and of the outputs and scholarly outputs related to these persons. The creation and curation of CVs, and lastly, faculty reporting and funder reporting, and assessments, so processes for assessment evaluation. The operational benefits, again, are an improved data quality, reduced burden on the collection of data, and less duplication in data entry, simplified reporting, and all of these things bring to greater operational efficiency and at the end of the day, more time for research activities and for faculty activities, for faculty members. So, going more into concrete things, what have we been building? So, here in this diagram, you see the situation that we have now, or that we have before having an integration platform. So what you can see is chaos, basically. So you have three products that are separated from one another. Each of these products has n integrations. In many cases, these integrations are the same. So what I represented to give the example is integration with external sources. So something that is common to most institutions is the need to collect data related to their activities. This data ideally will be imported automatically and synchronized in without needing continuous work. So I gave some examples of sources that are very common and that have a lot of content. Scopus, OpenAlex, PubMed, ORCID, DataSite for institutions that are also working with data sets. And as you see here, like you have a repetition and a duplication of the same integrations. What we have built and that we are still developing and improving and enhancing is an integration platform. And this integration platform sits in between the different products and the different sources that can be external sources or systems, internal systems, or funding databases, So we have focused, and this platform has two main capabilities that we have identified as important elements. And one is a need to be able to share data between the different products. So what you see is that data that lives in the integration platform is standardized, as I said, aggregated, standardized, and that can be seamlessly shared between, in this case, Pure, Interfolio, and Digital Commons. At the same time, the second capability and the second service that we have provided is an easy search and retrieval of data. So focuses on the ability to collect as much data as possible, good data, obviously quality data, and to achieve like a maximum coverage of content related to the institution. So here we have in the integration platform, we have created integrations with the external sources, the same I showed in the previous slide. But in this situation, you have one point of integration. So you have one integration with Scopus, one integration with ORCID or other sources, and all of the different products can make use of these integrations. So don't have to maintain the integration, the single integration that they have. Okay, going into examples, here is a simplified example workflow. And don't worry, we will go in more detail. But for now, we start. So here I show the integration between FAR and Pure, which is something that we have been working on. We have been working together with customers based on their feedback, based on the use cases that we identified. So what we want to, what we are doing, and it's work that goes on, is trying to capture the ones that are the main use cases or most common use cases and trying to satisfy, again, leveraging capabilities of the two systems, trying to support these use cases for the institution. So in the diagram, you see that you have the integration platform that I just described that sits in the middle, let's say, and then this platform connects on one side to FAR and to Pure, that in this case are the two products that we're looking at, but also connects to external systems and external sources. So what you see at the bottom is, I indicated, is the Elsevier Research Data Platform, and is a platform that is connected to the integration platform and provides aggregated data from a number of sources, and not only provides this data, but also enriches the data. So this data can be, again, publications, grants from several funding databases, and it is enriched in this platform with metadata such as person IDs, affiliations, institution IDs, so that it can be more easily grouped and used. So in this case, the faculty data is entered in Interfolio, in FAR in particular. It flows through the integration platform to Pure, where it is enriched, because Pure, being more of a research management system, has capabilities and functionality that is stronger, in my opinion, related to research projects. These, for example, are adding, so the data is enriched here, scholarly outputs are enriched with metrics, citations, for example, open access information. And then the two products, the data is fed back. Once it is aggregated in the integration platform, it is fed back to the two products for particular use cases. So in FAR, it might be used for faculty reporting. The data in Pure might be used from Pure for award management or for research reporting. And on the top, you see that the aggregated data can also be used in additional systems. So what I represented here is, for example, a web portal where faculty members can, at this point, showcase their enriched profiles or digital comments if they want to collect the data in their institutional repository. Okay, now we go into a bit more complexity, but this is a use case and a workflow that we are working on right now with some of the customers that have both Pure and FAR. And here I want to point out that we are collaborating, and I will point at you, because there is another team in Elsevier that is working on this type of integration and works very closely with customers, even to understand if certain use cases are more common than others. So this is the data integration service team, and I just point to Eva, my colleague, that is representing the team, and I do it just to let you know if people are interested in continuing the conversation or in what I'm saying, you can reach out both to him and to me. So, getting back to the example, in this case, we are building and we are working on an integrated FIS-RIM solution. So in this case, FIS is a faculty information system, and RIMS is a research information management system. So in practice, FAR and Pure. The way in which we are approaching the problem is that we're trying to create a system in which Interfolio and Pure, in this case, are an integrated suite of interoperable workflows and tools that can be used. So the different capabilities, the different systems are not disconnected anymore, but then can be put in this ecosystem and used depending on what you have to do. So, in this particular example, and with the customer we're working in, We are trying to support use cases, and you will see when I go through the diagram, that are related to the academic affairs office, the research management office, the library of the institution, and faculty members and researchers themselves. Okay, I try to go through it. I don't know if you see the difference in color, but there are some boxes that are gray and some that are white. Okay, anyways, I will say it when I go through. So the data in the middle, we have FAR and Pure, the two big systems. I did not depict it, but in between the two can be the integration platform. At the moment, we are running a first project, and we're also connecting, so the data between the systems can also be transferred via APIs, more simply. So if we start from the left, what we are doing here, so the faculty data is entered in FAR, in Interfolio, because talking again about strengths of the different products, we see that faculty members will import their data in FAR that has more flexibility and more options for faculty activities, so a wider range of faculty activities that people can put in. So the data initially is put into Workday. I was in the previous talk in which Workday wasn't very much loved, but it's used. It's put into Workday, and Workday is integrated with faculty search. So job requisitions are transferred from Workday to faculty search, and at the same time, data information on organizations and persons of the institution is transferred from Workday to FAR and Pure after going through access provisioning, because of course we want to make sure that proper, good data is going through. So this faculty data, so now we consider activities, teaching, prizes, goes into FAR, so is transferred into FAR. Now we move on the other side of the diagram, so we go to the right. And as I said, Pure is a system, a product that is more focused on research management, so the management of research data. And on this side, we have data that is still related to that faculty member and to build like a complete profile. But we have data such as research outputs, so publications, that comes in automatically from external sources. Some of these sources are internal to us, so Elsevier sources like Scopus or Scival, and some are third-party, so Web of Science, PubMed, DataSite, and other resources. So this data is imported automatically, so we eliminate the need of the manual work that needs to be put in. And then you have also other types of data related to research projects, such as grants, projects, patents, equipments that can come in to Pure from additional databases, so a funding database or a system that has equipment specifications. Okay, now that the data, faculty data is in FAR and research data is in Pure, the two systems share the data, aggregate the data, and then the relevant aggregated data can be used downstream in specific systems. Here I give two examples. So for example, CVs from FAR and metrics. that come from Pure are aggregated and sent to workflows that are used for review, promotion, and tenure. So you have enriched data and enriched profiles that you can then report on and use in these workflows. From Pure, data that is coming from, that is already in Pure, so scholarly outputs and research data is enriched with data that is imported from FAR. And then the more complete profile, the enhanced faculty profile, is sent to the Pure portal where this data can be showcased. There are two other examples that I want to show, and again, that we're currently working with customers. In this case, this is an example of data being shared from FAR to Pure. So we're working, and there are already customers like Cleveland University or the University of Kentucky that are live with this web portal. In this case, these are customers that are users of FAR, but they want to use a capability that is provided by Pure, the portal, to showcase their profile. So in this case, the institution or the faculty member imports or sends, enters his data in FAR. The data through the sharing platform, integration sharing platform, is sent to Pure, where it is enriched, and then it's sent to the web portal, where the faculty profiles are showcased. And I want to show an example of the web profiles. So what you then can showcase on the portal. So what you see, can you see the image? I'll go through it. So this is an example of a faculty member, and you have a first initial page with an overview of her personal profile. So you have on the top basic information such as role, affiliation, contact information, with also on the top right of the left image, metrics that are related to her research activities or faculty activities during the years. You have a list of or an overview of her education and qualifications. And then going down, you also have data on what her activities are. So what are the areas of expertise based on, one thing that is shown on the portal are things related to UN sustainability goals. But if you go on the top, what we call fingerprints. So basically, these are keywords that identify like the research areas or activity areas in which she is working. And you see it small on the left. You don't see it, but I will tell you. There is a little other icon that tells you how many similar profiles based on these areas of expertise you have within the institution that can be helpful when looking for collaborations or expertise on the same thing you're working on. And finally, at the bottom, you have a distribution, so we call it collaboration map, based on her outputs and her activities. You have a geographic distribution of people or institutions that she has collaborated with. Of course, you can go even more in details on her work. So you have a tab under her picture that lists all the different types of content types and activities she has worked on. And you can open these and you can scroll through her publications, her teaching, her service that she has performed, and for the scholarly output, so for publications, you also have an indication of, you also have associated metrics. So these citations, for example, or captures, mentions, a variety of different metrics. Okay, going in the second example and the second use case, this is a workflow that goes in the other direction. So still an integration between FAR and Pure, but in this case we are working with customers, Boise State University and Hamad bin Khalid, more or less, university in Qatar. Sorry, I even repeated it like 10 times in my head. But we're working with these customers, and these customers have and use both Pure and FAR. So in this case, what we want to provide to the university is a comprehensive view of the scholarly outputs that they then want to use in FAR. So they want to use it for faculty reporting. So have like a comprehensive view of the data. So in this case, the data is moving from Pure to FAR. And what we want to leverage from Pure is, as I mentioned already before, capabilities such as automatically importing, collecting scholarly outputs from more than 40 actually external content sources for different content types. And we are able in Pure to enrich the scholarly outputs with metrics for journal and article metrics like impact factors, citations, and also open access information that is, in this case, for HBKU, they're required for reporting and compliance purposes. In addition, and this again, it's a use case that we're working for one institution. They're going to be different for different institutions, but they're also synchronizing data related to research projects, in this case grants, projects and activities that are associated to their research and that live in Pure, so that they are bringing into Pure, and we are synchronizing it back to FAR so that then they can use it to streamline academic evaluation processes. To conclude, sorry, I talked a lot for a long time. To conclude, I just wanted to summarize what are the key takeaways of this work that we are doing. So we know, we have said that universities have to manage complex and overlapping institutional data, because this is a lot and also in many cases overlapping, and domains. We know that introducing integrated systems and being able to create integrated systems can reduce the institutional inefficiency and also costs related to work that the institutions have to put in. So we're working towards, and we think that the optimal situation is to have a qualified data network, which will improve both the data quality and the efficiency and in general institutional workflow. workflows. So with this, we can, with this integrated system, we can try to reduce the fragmentation of information that the institution has to deal with, and create an institutional ecosystem. I put it in quotes, but yeah, in practice, it's an ecosystem in which different systems are connected, and the data between them can be reused. And well, with the final goal of course, reducing the burden on institutions. Thank you.